Hello everybody, welcome back to another Mystic Islands video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'm really sorry for not uploading for a bit. Been super busy with school. The semester's starting to end now, so I should have a lot more free time in about a month to make a lot more content for you guys. Big shout out to Mr. Pete in the Discord. He actually won the entire tournament. And all of those games I actually recorded. I'm just going to do voiceovers over those, and I'm going to upload those very soon. They're like an hour of each gameplay because each person did 3 games. So it's going to take me a minute to get there, but I'm definitely going to release those. Today I'm actually going to be going over his deck. So his deck is called Blood Skull. That's my nickname for it anyway. It is a skeleton goblin deck. So obviously if you guys are interested in looking at some competitive decks, this one's clearly a pretty good one. There's obviously Blood Drunk and some other decks out there as well that I can go over soon if you want me to. So if you guys have any specific factions you guys want me to do a deck overview for, try to make the best deck competitively possible, just let me know in the comments section down below. So let's just get started. So the first card we're going to be showing off is Mystical Aegean Dragon. Right now I only have 1 copy of these at my disposal, but he does run 2 Mystical Aegean Dragons, so keep that in mind. Very good card, honestly, especially because it's a neutral. Throw this in any deck you want, because it's not going to hurt. Up next is Forbidden Spell. Of course, he wanted some negation, so he's going to grab 2 Forbidden Spells here. Not too many, but I feel like it's a safe amount. Moving on to the Goblin faction. He has 3 Grunt Goblins, one of my favorite creatures in the game. He's going to be getting a new art soon, and seems to be a fan favorite, but also a pretty solid card as well. 0 attack, 1 defense. When this creature dies, deal 4 points of damage to the caster that killed Grunt Goblin. So as long as you don't kill Grunt Goblin, he will deal 4 damage to the caster who does. Yes, Bloodthirsty is in this deck, of course. I'm going to be running 4 copies of Bloodthirsty, probably the best card in the deck. Everybody knows this card by now and either loves it or hates it. Target creature or caster takes 4 damage. When you cast this ability, lose 2 health. Very good card. In addition to that, he's also going to throw in 2 Throwing Blades. Cost 1, deal 2 damage to target creature. He's also running 4 copies of Goblin Warrior. This is a smaller creature, but it costs 1 attack, 1 defense. The best effect on it is when this creature enters the battlefield, your opponent takes 1 damage. It's just an extra, basically an attack right away without attacking. So it's a very good card to throw out, and it's an instant 1 damage to your opponent. One of my personal favorite Goblin cards is Goblin Ambush. Cost 3, 4 attack, 3 defense. He's going to run 3 copies of this. When casted, your opponent either discards 2 cards from their hand or loses 4 health. That is super useful. I feel like almost discarding the 2 cards from your hand is even more lethal than losing the 4 health. So this is a pretty solid card, especially running 3. Next up is 3 copies of Goblin Nightcrawler. Cost 2, 3 attack, 2 defense. You can pay 1. You can only use this once per game on your Goblin Nightcrawler, but if you have 3, you can obviously do that 3 times. You lose 2 health and your opponent loses 4 health. So that is just more burn damage essentially. And the last Goblin card in this deck is the Elf Goblin. So we're going to run 4 copies, cost 1 attack, 1 defense, and he is untapped. Very simple creature, but super useful for attacking around bigger creatures, getting a little extra damage in. A bunch of uses for this guy. Another similar type of creature is Crazed Scrapper, starting off with the Skeleton faction. 2 attack, 1 defense, untapped, but also has decay, so it will die after 1 turn. So that's not great, but we have a plan for that later. There's 3 copies here, but he's going to be running 4. I just have 3 at my disposal. But this is a very nice card. One of the best Skeleton faction cards, honestly, is Skeleton Arrowist, and that's why he's going to run 4. 3 attack, 1 defense. When this creature dies, add 1 chaos crystal to your stash. So that is huge, and the reason it is huge is because of Reborn Reaper. Cost 5, 5 attack, 4 defense. As long as this creature is active, once per turn you may cast the top Skeleton faction creature in your graveyard for 1 less of its original chaos crystal cost. So why this is so powerful with those last 2 skeleton cards is the Crazed Scrapper is untapped, so you can keep bringing it back from the dead, and it's going to keep dying. And Skeleton Arrowist costs 2, so you can reduce it down to 1 to cast it from the graveyard, and then when it dies, it gives you 1 back. So it's essentially free. So Reborn Reaper is definitely one of the best cards in the deck, but it's just kind of like the boss monster, so it is a little tough to get going. He's going to run 1 Coffin Collectors as well, cost 4, and I do have the foil version, so I'm sorry, it's going to be hard to see. But it says choose target creature in your opponent's graveyard. That creature enters your battlefield tapped under your control. When it dies, banish it to its original owner's pile. Essentially taking your opponent's dead creature. Only one copy of this because it's not really the main strategy of the deck, but sometimes if they get a giant creature like a Stone Golem Goliath and you really need some firepower, you can just go grab that for 4 crystals and it's all yours. And finally, for the leader, he went with Death Reaper. It is his favorite, so I see why he went with it. It is also very good and very good against Skeleton faction. If you're going against a mirror match with Skeleton, this is probably the most dangerous card on the field. You could tap to give target Skeleton faction creature the decay skill, so essentially, which means it will die within however many turns its health has, which is scary. Against regular decks, it's not as great, but you can still pay 2 crystals, search your deck for a Skeleton faction creature, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. That's actually a very good ability, and only for 2 crystals as well. And the last skill is Sacrifice, so you can actually sacrifice him as long as he has health, at least 1 of course, and you can actually gain 10 health from sacrificing him as well. So you can soak up 9 damage with him, and then soak up another 10 after that. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know this was a little bit of a shorter video, but I'm going to be having those gameplays out soon, and then I actually want to do some other gameplays against some friends and things like that, some battle videos, so that would be pretty sweet. In addition, I want to make more deck profiles and show off some of the new cards coming out, so that's going to be happening soon as well. And thank you guys so much for liking, subscribing, and commenting. I think we're at like 335 subs now. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. And I'm going to see you guys in the next one. Peace.